people are absolutely crazed. Trump derangement syndrome.
This is Trump derangement syndrome. Nothing more, nothing less, nothing else.
Trump derangement syndrome.
Trump derangement syndrome.
Because they have Trump derangement syndrome.
We hear it a lot, Trump derangement syndrome, on online definition calls. It irrational, extreme, or emotionally driven reactions to President Trump. Some of you have seen it up close. Some of these people are your relatives. Someone said to Harvard TDS is overwhelmed by dislike or fear of the president, that they lose objectivity, overreact, or interpret everything he does in the worst possible light. Psychotherapist Jonathan Alpert says he has seen this effect firsthand. In a Wall Street Journal piece, he writes, quote, "No serious mental health professional would render such a partisan and derogatory diagnosis. Yet, I've seen it in my own psychotherapy practice," end of quote. Jonathan is in focus with me now. So first of all, identify it for us. You're in a session and you pick up on what?
Well, Harris, it doesn't take long for me to pick up on this. People are obsessed with Trump. They're fixated, they're hyper-fixated on Trump. And they talk about some of the features of this disorder. They can't sleep. They feel traumatized by Mr. Trump. They feel restless. I had one patient who said she couldn't enjoy a vacation because anytime she saw Trump in the news or on her device, she felt triggered. So this is a profound pathology, and I would even go so far as to call it the defining pathology of our time.
These people come to you for the things that you described. Can't sleep, traumatized, perhaps depression. I don't want to put words in your mouth. But at first, you are there to treat an illness, a disorder of some kind. And what you figure out is the trigger.
Well, and Trump is the trigger for many of these people. And to be that fixated on a figure, on a person, it's simply not healthy. And our country has strayed so far away from where we once were. If you look at in the 80s when President Reagan was shot, people were united. He famously said, "I hope you're all Republicans," to the surgeons. And the response was, "Today, Mr. President, we're all Republicans." But our country has lost that. We've strayed so far from that unity.
Mm-hmm. And what do you see? Because you told me off camera, 3/4 of your patient load right now has what you're calling this TDS.
Well, 3/4 of my patients will present with a lot of these symptoms, and within probably 5 minutes of seeing me, their hatred for Trump comes up. So if you're that hyper-focused on Trump, that's a real issue, and it's worth being treated.
In fact, you recently wrote another piece for the Wall Street Journal. Politics make for bad therapy. When practitioners indulge their own biases, patients can become more anxious and depressed. So you think this is working its way into your medical field?
Oh, absolutely. My profession is a huge part of the problem. Therapists, the people who are supposed to be helping people, are actually dividing this country. If you go back a year ago, there was one psychiatrist who actually told people on national TV, if you don't like the way that your relative or friend voted, cut them out of your life.
I remember covering.
And that's not healthy. That's not how I would advise a patient at all.
All right. And in terms of, because I'm sure people are watching, so what do you do to cure your patients of TDS? I mean, because they're presenting with these other things that are in your wheelhouse. Like, how do you help somebody who's too depressed to sleep?
So similar to other obsessive disorders, it's important to help them separate fact from fiction. So one of the big tasks that I have is to try to educate these patients and dispel a lot of their beliefs. Trump is not a Nazi. He's not rounding up the gays and shipping them off to some faraway land. So a lot of my time as a therapist is spent trying to correct these people's beliefs. And then the other problem is they're echo chambers. These people are on social media and they're only surrounding themselves with one view. So it's important that they understand the full picture.
We have just 5-10 seconds left. Do you worry about people?
I do worry about people, and if this trend continues, I do believe our country will only become more divided. So we really need to get a grip on this.
All right. Jonathan Alpert, thank you very much.
Thank you.